We want to return to oil prices now. Just a quick sort of think out loud about what fluctuating prices do to different countries and different industries. Now, when oil prices are high, economies typically try to switch to alternative energy sources. Just makes sense. But right now, of course, prices are low, which should mean oil becomes more attractive. But it seems even OPEC members are looking beyond black gold this time. There are rising populations, increasing consumerism. It's all leading to more energy consumption as a whole. So let's take one example. Saudi Arabia, not only the biggest OPEC exporter, but a big consumer. Oil accounts for 65% of all electricity production there. But what if Saudi Arabia sold all the oil it produced and consumed other energy sources? Well, could have made an additional $43.8 billion in revenue. And it seems it's thinking about that by outlining plans to spend $109 billion on alternative energy sources, mostly solar. And sun is something we've got a lot of in this part of the world, so let's talk to someone in the business now. Joining us from Washington is Vicente Lopez Ibor Mayor, who is the chairman of Light Source Renewable Energy. He was also previously with the National Energy Commission of Spain. Vicente, I've been reading your article here, which is called "Can Solar Power Replace Oil in the Middle East?" Now, as someone who has lived in the Middle East for about a decade and seen more sun than I ever thought I would, my immediate reaction is yes, of course that makes sense. What conclusions did you come to?
I think solar it's not only a need, but is an opportunity for the Middle East area. It is an opportunity because it combines the possibility to diversify the supply with the fantastic possibilities on the ground that it has the Middle East region, particularly Saudi Arabia and the other 7 neighborhood countries that they have in that area because of the energy expertise that they already have demonstrated for many years, even decades, and also in terms of the gains of productivity and sustainability reinforcement. So I think it's an opportunity, and there the conditions on the ground, it does really exist.
But am I right in saying that solar power has efficiency problems, that you could put, all the solar panels out for as long as you want and they could soak up the sun all day long, but that when you actually convert it into electricity, the returns aren't that great? And maybe that's the reason there hasn't been such a good uptake.
Yeah, well, there is when we talk about solar, of course you are right to some extent, but at the same time when we talk about solar, we have to combine technical questions, economical possibilities, financial capabilities, and of course some regulatory frame. That is very important, this regulatory frame. And in technological terms, there is an opportunity now to make hybridization in solar with the development of much more powerful storage capacities. So these concerns that you have, with the new technical possibilities, I think it could be solved very soon.
Even so, if you have, and I don't know if you'd be able to answer this specifically, but I'll still try. Let's say Saudi Arabia, right? 26 million people, 5 million households. That is a lot of electricity needs, obviously. To make solar power truly workable there, how much of that desert are you going to have to cover up with solar panels to actually get a good return? Is this going to have to be a huge investment?
Yes, it's a huge investment, no doubt. But I think a new economy of the grid, based upon the renewable energy basket, could be perfectly developed in the years to come, in a decade or so. How much it could represent in the whole energy basket, I think it could go from 15 to 13. But look what is happening, for instance, in the European Union. Now we have an objective for the year 2013 in order to have 47% of the production of electricity will be consumed. It would be produced from renewables, and most in particular for wind power plants and solar energy capacity. So I think these possibilities, even apparently are so difficult, it would happen very rapidly because the technological development allows us to do it, because the financial conditions now and capabilities are there. You have it very easily. The possibility even to attract investments from abroad, even if it wouldn't be necessary, and the regulatory frame that you have to establish in a predictability way. You say that, of course, we have to look at the conditions country per country and what is happening in each of these countries, what kind of autonomous energy they have, and I am perfectly aware how powerful is Saudi and Middle East region in oil and fossil fuels combustion energy sources. But this is not a contradiction. Everything could be done, so the basket could be perfectly enlarged with more environmentally sound energy sources in future.
I'm glad you mentioned conditions in each country and contradictions, because as I understand it, your company is the leading solar energy company in the United Kingdom. Now, not to put too fine a point on it, there's not a lot of sun in the UK, is there? I mean, don't you need to be getting out and diversifying? How's your business actually going there?
Yes, there is a lot of sunshine, there is a lot of solar radiation, there is terms of hours of sun per year that allows us to develop very rapidly and to create, just in 5 years' time, the largest company, not only in UK, but the European Union scale. So can you imagine? We have done this because we have combined these chapters that I mentioned to you before, these pillars of technical capabilities with the very good and capable human resources skills, and also the conditions of the market where the prices fell down very rapidly, and a good regulatory frame that is very important always in energy, and in particular in these new energies that needs some learning curve that we have to cover, but it has been covered in a very short period of time. And the conclusion in terms of the objectives, within how much we contribute to the objectives in terms of climate change and in terms of reinforcement of the environmental chapter.
Okay, but I'm going to keep coming back to the conditions again, because don't you as a company need to be moving into the Middle East, into Spain, into North Africa, places where there is a lot more sunshine, quite simply, and you can get better returns on energy and profits?
Yes, why not? We are absolutely open to that possibilities and to explore the possibilities to expand our expertise to other regions that, of course, they have a very large and very competent knowledge about the energy chapter. Of course, yes, but it does depend particularly in this case of the regulatory conditions. It would be a very fruitful cooperation between operators and regulators. Regulators should establish a frame. They should establish this frame with transparency, looking at for opening up competition.
Vicente, it's been a pleasure talking to you today on Counting the Cost. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you, sir.